way back in 2019, when I went to go see the first Joker movie, I thought that one was incredible. I thought it was really profound. I thought it was very well done. A lot to say about mental health. And I argued that instead of being called Joker, the movie should have just been called Arthur. That I thought that Todd Phillips and team had wisely used the Joker IP to pull in an audience to tell a story, a character study of this broken man that society had failed. And after seeing Joker Folie, Deux, the sequel, I agree with that statement. These are not Joker movies. If you're going in here to watch a movie about the Joker, like the Batman villain, the Joker, you're in the wrong place. And I think that's why we're seeing so much hatred and vitriol spewed at this film. It's just the film's being attacked. And yes, I just saw the movie. I agree, it's messy. It's not all that fully formed. I can see in numerous spots what they were going for, and then I can also see how it doesn't really work or connect. But I gotta tell you, I feel like I watched a different movie than everyone else. Or at least I saw it differently. Because I really liked this movie. I didn't hate it at all. I don't think it was perfect. Like, I didn't love it. But it's a flawed piece of art. I think, like I said, this is a continuation of the original's kind of themes and story it was going for. These films are the tragedy of Arthur Fleck and how society failed this broken man. And yes, this movie didn't need to be made, and I think the filmmakers also agree with that. And so they made a film that kind of has a meta commentary to it as well about how we like in 2019 we idolized Joker. We saw this movie and people were like cheering when Arthur became the Joker, and so they made this movie to double down and clarify, no. This was not good. This is horrific what is going on. That we let this person become so broken, and the society and the system failed him to the point that he feels he has no choice but to resort to this horrific monster persona. Because he wasn't able to get help. It reminds me of stuff like Dune Messiah, which I'm interested to see how that film is received. It reminds me, Dune Messiah is the best example, really, but where the author Frank Herbert saw people's reactions to the first Dune book and how they were seeing Paul as the hero, and so he wrote another chapter in the story to clarify, no, this is not a good guy. What's happening is bad. And that's kind of what Joker Folie, Deux feels like. It's Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix coming back and saying, hey, what happened in Joker was horrific. And we're trying to show that here and get that point across. That the end goal isn't for Arthur to become the Joker. It's for Arthur to get better. It's for Arthur to be Arthur and be taken care of and be helped. And so I watched the movie with that lens. I think it starts with a little animated cartoon, the Joker in his shadow, something like that. And I think that, for me, really unlocked, okay, here's the lens you have to watch the movie through. And so I did. And I thought it was really well done. Sure, I don't think it has too much more to say than the original Joker. Like, it feels like they said everything they wanted to say in the original. But this one they had the opportunity to come back and clarify what they did with the original to the point that I think these make really great two-parter. This is essentially an extended epilogue. And I thought it was really interesting because a lot of the time you're examining, because a courtroom drama pretty much, examining what happened in the first movie and picking it apart, and they're kind of showing you how they saw it. So I thought that was really interesting. Another aspect that a lot of people didn't see coming was the musical aspect, which I actually think was okay. It didn't fully work. I'm someone who loves musicals, and the important thing in a musical is that the songs need to help tell the story. It can't stop the story just to have a musical sequence. This film kind of does that. It would tell you what it's wanting to say in one scene, cut to the musical sequence, and it would basically just reiterate the point the last scene made. So you could take all the songs out of the movie, and it would really have no impact. So, like, I liked the intent. I did like some of the musical numbers a lot, but I don't think it fully worked just because maybe they weren't filmmakers who had made a musical before. I thought Joaquin Phoenix was great once again. Lady Gaga was great as Lee. And I just thought it was really interesting, the dynamic that Lee and Arthur had. There's a lot to process with this film that I haven't fully thought through yet. Not all of it worked for me, but I definitely didn't hate it. I really could appreciate what the filmmakers were going for. And by the end of the movie, I just felt sad. I felt sad for Arthur, this broken man who just never got any help and was just kept being kicked down, and now people are trying to force him to embrace this dark Joker persona, this dark, dangerous Joker persona. And it's like this monster he created that he can no longer control. So I thought this overall Joker Folie à Deux, it's good. I just think you have to set your expectations properly for what you're going in to see when you watch this movie. Like, if you're going in it to see a Joker movie, yeah, you're not going to like it. If you're like me and you watched the first movie and sat there in horror as Arthur became the Joker, as he embraced this dark side, killing Murray Franklin, and then going out in the streets and seeing all these people that were kind of embracing him, that was horrific. If you thought that was horrific and you were watching the movie for Arthur, I think you'll get a lot out of this movie. If not, if you wanted to see Arthur become the Joker by the end of this movie, I'm sorry, you're going to be disappointed. The movie is well made. I thought it was very well shot. Sound mixing is good. The music is excellent. The sets, lighting, artistic design, everything was well done. Costuming, well done. It's just, yeah, I can see how there's a divide, but I don't understand why it's getting so wildly hated. There's a lot for me to unpack. Not everything worked. It's a very messy film, and it's very kind of disconnected. There's a lot of ideas thrown out, and then they're disconnected, but overall, it worked. It worked for me. Solid, I guess, 3.5, 4 out of 5 for me. Not bad by any means, but you really got to kind of know what you're getting into with this one before, so you're not overly disappointed. And I'm sorry if you are. I know film is subjective, so it sucks that I am in the extreme minority on this movie of liking it and liking what Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix were going for here. But I am overall happy with the movie we got. I thought it was really interesting and really tragic. So for me, it works. It does make an argument on why we shouldn't make sequels to some of these movies. Like, Joker never should have had a sequel, and this movie really should never have been made. But I love that they took when they were mandated by the studio to go make this movie, they took that and ran with it and made a movie that proves why you shouldn't. It wants you to be disappointed. It wants you to dislike it because it's trying to make a different point. It doesn't want you to want the Joker to show up. And I appreciated that. I thought that was interesting. So I gotta appreciate the big swing they took. And sure, it didn't always connect, but it worked for me. So yeah, just kind of know what you're getting into if you're gonna go see it. I'm not gonna recommend it or not recommend it. I'm just gonna say it worked for me. So yeah.